Of things I do in my job that I don't understand why others don't. That line there from Esther McVey about the airport, which Ian quite rightly picked her up on, I thought I'd look into it. There was an airport that the British media portrayed as having been a terrible waste of foreign aid because when it first opened, there were problems with winds. And so that's why I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I said, I think she's actually right. And it's just hilarious that she, when asked an even slightly detailed question, falls apart. Nope, here it is. This is a report that you will never read. This is the point about Britain. If like me, you're wondering how we've ended up in such a mess, this is why. Because you will never have read this in any of the places where you read the story about the airport being disastrous and a terrible waste of foreign aid, right? Even though I think St Helena is a British overseas territory, so it's foreign aid in the loosest sense. Here it is. The airport on the remote British overseas territory island St Helena, once dismissed as the world's most useless airport by British media. Right, so it's that one. By who? British media, James. Oh. Is proving to be a reliable asset. This is from an industry journal that continues to explain exactly how that initial test flight led to that British media allegation and how it has proved long-term to be wrong. It's an international aviation journalist based in Germany who wrote that, Andrea Spaeth. And that's the point, because I'm weird. I was looking up coverage of the EMA and EBA, both of which have now left Britain, wondering what the British media did about the fact that the European Medical Agency and the European Banking Agency were bound to leave Britain in the event of Brexit. I found an article in The Sun, published, of course, edited by a man called Tony Gallagher, someone else you'll never see being interviewed or held to account or in any way scrutinised for what he tells the British public on a daily basis. And it was an article in 2017 saying that it wasn't true and that they'd probably stay. I found it. I Googled it. It's there. So I've tried to find the article where they've reported the fact that while I was on holiday in Greece last week, the European Banking Agency followed the European Medical Agency and left the United Kingdom, taking with it huge amounts of money, jobs, and, of course, attendant economic benefits like everything from the people the taxes of the people that work there through to the people that sold them sandwiches every lunchtime. All gone. Boom, gone. That's bound to be covered. The Sun will print a story saying, in 2017, we accidentally told our readers that these two agencies were likely to stay in the United Kingdom and that they should ignore the scaremongering of Project Fear. Nothing at all. So how do people end up believing this stuff? Well, how does a cabinet minister end up believing this stuff? The answer is the same. How does Edna McVey? How does evil Edna McVey end up believing that there was an airport that represents a terrible waste of foreign aid money? Answer, because she read it in the British media. And the British media exaggerated, made it up, and never corrected it when events changed the facts. It's just crossed live now to Esther for her latest comments on the issue.
It's in one of the continents abroad. We know we've got that airport where we can't take off and land because of the winds, the crosswinds there.
Can you put a call in and ask her which airport? Because I think she's referring to St Helena, which is now up and running and proving a reliable asset on the British overseas territory of St Helena. What? I apologise. Edna wants to come back with another comment.
It's in one of the continents abroad. We know we've got that airport where we can't take off and land because of the winds, the crosswinds there.
And given that we're praising colleagues, in this case Ian Dale, let's just remind ourselves what happened when Eddie Mair met Boris Johnson a few years ago.
Why don't we talk about something else? The programme also includes, well, this is about your integrity. Okay. The programme includes your reaction as you listen to a phone call in which your friend Darius Guppy asks you to supply the address of a journalist, yes, so that he can have him physically assaulted. The words beaten up and broken ribs are said to you. And you, having heard that, you tell your friend Darius Guppy you will supply the address. What does that say about you, Boris Johnson? Well, aren't you, in fact, making up quotes, lying to your party leader, wanting to be part of someone being physically assaulted? You're a nasty piece of work, aren't you?
Well, Eddie, I think all three things I would dispute.
Well, I say.